You want to check the live feed or we good to go? Yeah, we should be good. I'll check it. Bible Kashah, check it out, just in case. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're good to go. Check it out. All right. Hey, Shalom. Hey, want to give all praises to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai by Shem Kakadash. Hey, double honors to the apostles and elders that rule well. Peace and meaning salutations to Yakim that's toiling in his truth. I wanted to come with a quick sit down. Just going into being circumspect around those that are non-believers. You know, we have a certain light on us, which prompts people to be intrigued about us, but also envious. So the wisdom that we exhibit, people want to try whether or not that wisdom, is of the Lord. So when you're at work and things of that nature, it's very important that you're being circumspect around these people, man. The example I have for you guys is there was this one Issacharite at work. He will always talk about, you know, he always talk about, the small hatters. Like, yeah, the small hatters, man, they're ruining the world. They're doing this, they're doing that. Um, and he ended up getting fired. Now, he didn't get fired per se about what he was speaking on. He got fired for attendance, but he had a bad reputation, right? So he was speaking about certain situations that was out of turn. Like bro, we're at work. They're not paying us to be smart guys. They're paying us to move boxes. So move the box and shut the hell up. But a lot of people in the world, they have main character syndrome, man. To where they have to push their agenda, their idea, on the world. And anybody who doesn't, cater to that emotion or that idea, they're targeted by the person who has the main character syndrome, right? Now, that dude was a prime example of that, but of not only, talking out of turn, but also the mindset of these people. These people they believe that, their ideas of who they are, is righteous and justified, right? And anybody who's going to come contrary to those thinkings, to that process, that process, they are a target. Mm-hmm. And we are adamantly against the word. Come on, we know what we preach. Mm-hmm. So it's very important that you're being circumspect on what you say and what you do around these people, man. Okay? Let's get that in Matthew 12 and 37, Baba Kashai.
Probably can we start at 36, whoever got it?
Yes, sir.
I got it. This is Matthew chapter 12 and verse 36. It says, "But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment."
Right. So you at work and you condemning people, you telling this person he about to go to slavery and you about to be burnt up, right? And you don't know who you're talking to at work, man. You could be talking to a foreign Israelite and you condemning this dude, right? Just because he made you, upset. Now, you feel like you're justified in condemning him, right? Which we know these people ain't shit, and more than likely, you're probably right. But at the same time, how's that advantageous for you holding down a job?
Put the fries in the bag.
Yeah, put the fries in the bag, big dog. Stay out the way, baby.
Can I get a quick precept?
Of course you can, Elder.
When you jump back to Matthew 12, this is Ecclesiastes 3 and 1. It says, "To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven." So the scriptures speak about, I think in Sirach somewhere, even the truth spoken out of season is unfruitful. Loosely paraphrasing.
I got it right here.
You got it.
Online.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 20 and verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start at verse 19. It says, "An unseasonable tale will always be in the mouth of the unwise. A wise sentence shall be rejected when it cometh out of a fool's mouth, for he will not speak it in due season."
Right, because a wise man is going to just both discern time and judgment. So there's a time for everything, man. You got to recognize where you're at all times,
Right.
pretty much it.
That's right, brother. Especially when you're around non-believers, right? You have a spiritual target on your back when you're around these people, right? And it's really it's so heavy because it's unbeknown to them, right? A lot of these people they look at you, you know, and they have a envious or a hatred for you, and they don't even understand why they had that hatred. And the reason why is because you are a man of Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. Yahweh Bashim Yahshua. So you have a spiritual target on your back, bro. Don't make it easy for Esau Edom. Don't make it easy for these two-third niggas. Don't make it easy for the nigga woman. When you at work, when you're around people, save yourself a headache. Okay? Save yourself a headache. Because if you get spiritual or you talk out of turn amongst these people, guess what? That's on you. Because you're not using knowledge and wisdom.
Right.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You had something, brother?
Yeah, I did. Yep.
Go ahead.
This is Sirach chapter 32 and verse 8. It says, actually, I'll start at verse 7. Speak, young man, if there be need of thee, and yet scarcely when thou art twice asked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the point is in verse 8, but to break down verse 7, it says, speak, young man, if there be need of you. You don't want to give unsolicited opinions, you know, especially around in situations where people are not, they do not have your best interests at heart. Okay, you at your job, you may have been there for 6 months or a year and think that, you know, yeah, man, they my coworkers, man, they cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
My friends.
nah, hell nah. You know, you want to be you want to be give yourself a level of a barrier and mystery behind, you know, what you're all about. Okay, you don't want to be an open book. And that's why it says, yet scarcely when thou art twice asked. Somebody asks you, yeah, man, what do you think about Trump and politics, man? You know, I don't too much, you know, got too much to do about it. You know, I just, you know what I mean? Just play it cool.
Right.
You know, you don't got to be overly opinionated. Now, the point is in verse 8. It says, let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words, and be as one that knoweth and yet holdeth his tongue.
Right. One that knoweth and yet holdeth his tongue. Man, we know so much through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Sometimes it's hard to dumb yourself down, but you have to do that while you amongst these people, man. Even today, you know, you had somebody, you know, I had somebody at work, he was trying to talk about racism, things of that nature. I just, you know, switched the conversation on him, man.
Mhm.
Right? Or if somebody just high-minded, like the Issachar I was telling you all about, you know, they got fired, you know, I just let him talk. I'm like, dang, I dumb myself down. Dang, man, where you learn that from? Man, you smart. Because that's what he wanted. He wanted to hear himself speak. So give him that pat on the back.
Yeah, that's it.
Right? Give him that pat on the back that you know, emotional pat on the back that these people want, man. Sometimes you got to, you know, allow people egos to flourish, you know, to keep things, you know, sane. And for you to flourish in that particular situation. Now, the example that we're using is at a job, right? But it's just something that you could use in your everyday life. That's a part of really turning another cheek. Is letting people have it, man. Right? Because everybody is a guru in their own mind, bro. Right? So let them feel like they're the guru while you get your money. Okay? The quickest way to lose a job is to, you know, offend your coworkers. Right? What's that insurance says? Offend not a city. Right? You going to work and you being a super duper Israelite. Right? Or you being Mr. Smart Guy. You deep. you deep at work.
Mm-hmm.
That's not gonna do anything but you know, cause these people to really test your nuts,
Man.
test to see what you about.
Yep.
Instead of a friend become not an enemy, the scripture says too.
Right.
You can just create unwanted enemies just by inserting yourselves in things that you don't even need to be discussing in the first place. But for one, you're at work. Like proverbial, I'm saying, put the fries in the bag, man. That's what you're there for.
Right.
Facts.
Do your job and go to the crib, man. Make
Yep,
your life
that's it.
easy.
Yeah.
Get in and get out.
You know? Go ahead, you got something?
Yeah, this is
Speak up for me, baby, because you know we.
this is Yahweh talking to the disciples about that as well. This is Matthew chapter 10 and verse 16, and it reads, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves." So, you got to learn how to, be incognito and not cause attention to yourself when you're on the job site. Because, for number one, we already, have a target on our back just because of who we are. So, when you're on your job, even when you're just out and about, you still have to be careful, of who's around you and what you're talking about. So,
Right, because you have a lot of people that run across these videos, and might recognize you, but don't recognize you. I get that all the time. Man, you look so familiar. I said, man, I look like, I said, I'll start joking. Man, I look like a retired running back, don't I? They start laughing. What, I look like Sean Alexander, you know, make people laugh, and then they're like, oh, he's just a funny guy. Not, no, yeah, they probably see me on, a video, man.
Some of these people might use subtlety in that way. They might recognize you, act like they don't know you, just to kind of see how you move.
Yep.
Because that scenario can play out too. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why it's best to move, with wisdom.
Go ahead,
This is 1 Samuel 21 and 10 in the NLT. It says, so David escaped from Saul and went to King Achish of Gath. But the officers of Achish were unhappy about his being there. Isn't this David, the king of the land? They asked. Isn't he the one the people honor with dances, singing, Saul has killed his thousands and David his tens thousands? So David had a reputation in other lands. It says David heard these comments and was very afraid of what King Achish of Gath might do to him. So I'm reading in KJV verse 13, and he changed his behavior before them and feigned himself mad in their hands and scrabbled on the doors of the gates and let his spittle fall down upon his beard. So he played stupid. He was put on that Clark Kent, And a lot of Jake, will call that, being cowardly, being cowardly. But no, that's using wisdom, man. You see, King David knew who he was. He knew that the Lord was dealing with him. You see, but he understood that he was behind enemy lines, and it's the same case for us. We're behind enemy lines, man. So, like the preacher said, we already got a target on our back. So we don't want to, bring more attention upon ourselves than what we got to, man. We don't want to tempt Yahweh Bashim our shot.
That's right. Anybody else have something?
This is Sirach 5 and 13 in the GMT. Speaking can bring you either honor or disgrace. What you say can ruin you.
Yep. What you say can ruin you, man. With your lips, you can get a good reputation, and with your same lips, you can get a terrible reputation. Right? You can have a terrible reputation that could cause you to potentially lose your job, right? Or you be stuck at a particular point in your job, man, right? Because everybody doesn't want to work with you, right? And, the people that you will hire with, they're getting, raises and, different levels of, promotions. Thank you, promotions and things of that nature. Versus you stayed at the entry level. You've been at the entry level for 3 or 4 years. Right? And the reason why is people don't really want to work with you, but they want their body. So, we'll keep this guy around because he's a hard worker. He's just an asshole. Right? You don't want to be that guy. Right? At your work, at your work and while doing the work. Right? So even, amongst brothers, you got to be circumspect with what you say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
let me finish this out.
Go ahead, brother. Finish it for me.
This is Matthew 12 and 36. It says, but I say unto you, that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned.
Right. So by your words you can be justified, right? Or you can be condemned by your house, by shooting out shot by the things that you say, bro. Right? That's why the apostles have been pushing kids, keep it simple. Stupid, right? Keep it simple.
Yep.
Right? At your job, bro. Keep it simple. You know, you don't have to be the guy that has the opinion. That's the visionary. Well, I think it should be this way. Well, I think you should get another job.
They looking for that. Ooh, like
Yeah, drop the mic,
yeah.
right? The drop the mic moment. That you know, when you inciting epiphanies and and sparkles in the air and shit like that. Then what? You still got to move them damn boxes. You still got to shoot that goddamn flow. Answer the phone, nigga. Then what? Okay, that's why the scripture says, "Seek not vain glory." A lot of the reason why we get in trouble is for vain glory. And that vain glory manifests in different ways, bro. It manifests in different ways, whether it be by your tongue, buying things you don't need to buy, going to certain places that you don't need to go. It's all boils down to vain glory. You have to remember that we are servants. So our wants and desires are not going to be perceived because we're serving Yahweh by Shemi Shah. We're unprofitable servants. Right? That's the example that Yahweh Shah gave us. He made himself of no reputation. You do the same thing at work. Make yourself of no reputation. Right? You let your actions speak, not the words that you speak. You have something now?
Yeah, I was just reading this one real quick in Sirach 8 and 19. It says, "Open not thine heart to every man, lest he requite thee with a shrewd turn." People talk about getting backstabbed, but you opening your mouth up too much and you're confiding information with people that really, this person say, prove a friend first. You know, I mean, it takes a lot of times, years to really show that, okay, this person can be trusted. If you wouldn't trust them with, laying your wallet out, okay, then why are you telling them your business? That's all I have.
Right. Right. You're at work telling your business because you want somebody to think that you just so manly because you're going through so much. He's just enduring so much. And really, the people looking at you like, this nigga is crazy.
Yep.
This nigga crazy as hell, man. Right? You let your actions speak. That's how people determine what type of man that you are, bro. Hey, can somebody get Titus 1 and 9?
I had it right here.
You got it? Go ahead, brother.
This is Titus chapter 1 and verse 9, okay, because it talks about the responsibilities of a bishop, right? It says, "Holding fast the faithful word as he hath been taught, that he may be able by sound doctrine both to exhort and to convince the gainsayers." Okay? Because really, the way that brothers see us maneuver in this world, that should be an example, and part of the sound doctrine is, like Yahweh said, don't let your left hand know what your right do, and vice versa. You don't always have to be giving all this information. Okay, when people ask Yahweh direct questions, a lot of times he would speak to them in parables unless it was given unto them to understand it. He would break it down directly. So take some pages out of that book, learn how to maneuver in subtlety. Okay. That's what I get from it. Did you one more in it?
No, that's it on that. Can somebody get Ephesians 5 and 15, Barbara Shop?
I'm there.
You there? Yep. Go ahead, brother.
So Ephesians 5 and 15 says, "See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise."
We always like to bring out that word circumspectly. That means basically looking around, being observant. Right? You don't want to be in this world just willy-nilly. Right? You have to move with intent. That's what the Zaquan Yadakar says that very often. Move with intent, bro. While you're at work, what is your intent? Is it to get bitches? You want to be Casanova at the warehouse? You want to be the smartest nigga at the warehouse? Right? Or do you want to get your paycheck and go home and hopefully put yourself in a better advantageous situation so you can make more money? Right? You have to move with understanding. What's your intent? Why are you here? That's a question, you know, that we can, allude to the truth also. Why are you here? You know what I'm saying? Is it attention? Is it attention grabbing? Is it knowledge grabbing? You know, you just want to be a smart guy, or are you trying to get saved? Right? You trying to get on a chariot, man. Right? You want to be a friend of Yahweh Shai. Right? Right?
Right.
So why are you in the, why are you, a partner in that? That's going to manifest in your everyday life, your intent. Okay? That's more than that.
Yep. It says, verse 16, redeeming the time because the days are evil.
You want to speak on them a lot?
Yeah, I mean, shit, you can't, a lot of these opportunities we, come across, whether that be an opportunity to have a job, the blessing to have a job, it's a head up. It's a head up because right now the day is evil. It's the grinding is ceasing. It's not so easy to get things no more. That's with everything, food, resources, job included. So certain relationships, that goes pertaining to brothers too. You shouldn't say everything that's on your mind. Sometimes sit back and let shit play out. I have something too though.
Go ahead, break down. Go ahead.
It's 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 11. It says, and that ye study to be quiet and do your own business and to work with your own hands as we commanded you. And that's the oxymoron. We study to speak as well, but certain things, just like you was going into, certain things is out of season. Certain times it's better to play stupid and just sit back and listen. Or say something or just get in and get out somewhere.
Yeah, I got one. This is Sirach 20 and 20 in the GMT. Nobody takes a proverb seriously when some fool quotes it at the wrong time.
Yeah, nobody's going to take you serious. Right.
Being season.
Nobody's going to take you seriously when you at work and, you try to break down the Troy trial short.
Right. It's out of season. It's true, but it's out of season.
It's out of season, bro. It's like the Issachar that I'm thinking about that really prompted this video. You talk about the Jews running the world. It's like, okay, you look like a maniac, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then, the reason why you're saying this stuff because, really you just want to be, different. Okay, the Jews, what you gonna do about it? You gonna go home and play PlayStation? Right? Look up some YouTube videos. Then what?
Yep, pretty sure this one too in verse 7. Sirach 20 and 7. GMT. A wise person will not speak until the right moment, but a bragging fool doesn't know what time it is.
Damn. You want to brag about yourself and how knowledgeable you are versus not being circumspect, versus not, paying attention to your surroundings, man. Right? And it's ego driven. And a person like that is very dangerous to be around. Because he's playing into his emotions versus the will of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Or, not even calling it the average person. He's not being circumspect of other people. Okay?
I have a precept.
Go ahead.
Backing up what you read, redeeming the time in Ephesians. This is Ecclesiastes 8 and 6. It says, because to every purpose there is time and judgment. Therefore, the misery of man is great upon him. So you have to be able to discern time and judgment, man. It's a particular time to say certain things. The scriptures also talk about you got to know when to refrain from speaking as well. You got to be able to discern in the spirit, because life and death is in the power of the tongue, especially. All right. I got something.
The doubt. So I got to next around.
I don't know if y'all brought it out, but this is Colossians chapter 4 and start at verse 5 in the NLT. It says, live wisely among those who are not believers and make the most of every opportunity. let your conversation be gracious and attractive so that you will have the right response to everyone.
Right.
No.
No, go ahead. You want to break it down? Go ahead.
This it's pretty much plain and put, man. You're supposed to be living wisely amongst non-believers. Hence pretty much the title of the lesson, right? Being circumspect around non-believers because like you pretty much what you're going into, man. Like, what's the point of you just cast your pearls openly before swine? Oh man, yeah, you're Israelite, like, but a lot of times they don't care about all that. All right, they trying to get their money, trying to figure out how they gonna take care of their family. They ain't worried about ultimately this economy, right? And then on top of that, when you're doing that, all you're doing is put a target on your back. Just like these other camps when they go around wearing their fringes, all they doing is put a target on their back on who the people blame when all hell start breaking loose. Oh, it's their fault. Looking at the nigga with the fringes on, you know.
That's right.
Yeah, I just had a definition of situational awareness. Because like in football, for example, like first down, second down, third down, there's the way your thought process changes, from first down, to third down, it's more urgent. You got to get the first down. But just going into the term circumspect, it says situational awareness is the understanding of an environment, including its elements and how they change over time. It says, and I just typed this in on Google, it says it involves 3 levels: perceiving the environment, comprehending its meaning, and predicting future status based on that information. So just going into that circumspect, not only literally looking around, but, like he brought out that Ecclesiastes 8, understanding time and judgment,
That's right. Beautifully said. Anybody else have something?
Yeah, I skipped over 5, so this is the point I want to actually hit. Ecclesiastes 8:5, it says, "Whoso keep the commandment shall feel no evil thing, and a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment." So a wise man's heart discerns both time and judgment, knowing that situational awareness, pretty much, is backing that up.
Right. Knowing what times you're living in. Days that we're living in are very evil out there. The morale that people in general is steadily declining, man. The average person is, in the adolescent state, right? They're not mature as humans,
Yep.
right? They're very childish.
A lot of arrested development.
Right.
Most people, especially in Babylon.
Right. The average person could quote, Lilo and Stitch versus the scriptures.
Right.
Sounds funny, but and crazy, but bizarre to us. That's true. The average person can sing you a Disney tune, right? Versus, tell you what's going on in Israel right now, man. Right? The Esau Edom did a great job of keeping people in an infantile state of mind, right? So with that mindset, people are very rash, and people are very violent, and very vindictive. So you in this world and you pissing people off, that will mess up your money, right? Hey man, certain contracts, things of that nature that I had that were good contracts. Why I had my own box shirt messed up because, yeah, talking too fucking much, man. You can mess up your livelihood doing that, man. Put you in straits. You don't want to do that, especially in the times that we're living in. It's gonna get harder and harder to make money out here, right? And people are gonna become more and more cutthroat in order for them to preserve themselves, man.
Yep.
Most people, but they believe in social Darwinism, the survival of the fittest. So they're gonna do it whatever it takes for them to, prosper. Well, it says what's that? 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter, in the last days, people be loving themselves.
Oh yeah. Yep, Con,
You
yep.
grant it?
I got you. All right. Yep. This is yeah. I think it's in First Timothy.
No, it's in second. It's verse 1.
Okay, got it. Whoever got it.
Got it. It's in 2 Timothy chapter 3. You mind read verse 1?
Yeah.
Okay, 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves.
Right, which just goes into being selfish. Right? Go ahead, Al.
Says, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truth breakers, false accusers, incontent, fierce,
And this is incontinence.
so like incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good.
Right, and that word incontinent means basically no self-discipline.
Right, self-governance.
Right, no self-governance. These are the people that you're working with, bro. Right? The average person will have damn gone a birthday cake in the morning time.
Oh yeah, I seen that shit too.
Whoa.
Butterfingers and Snickers.
Butterfinger sneakers with a soda on the side.
It's like people always eating. They can't even go like a clean hour or and a half without putting something in their mouth. Besides water, they got to be just constantly eating, man.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even apply intermittent fasting. Most people, you know, they eat breakfast, lunch, they just snacks all day, just eat.
I didn't really know what fasting was until I came into the truth. You know, part of black culture is just a snack. You know,
Eating all day.
Right. Eating all day, feeding them demons all day. When they on break, they must be looking at all types of abominations. You know, we don't have to dive into the abomination, but you know what these people are watching, bro. Right? You know, they the reality to these people is basically, you know, pseudoscience and also social media.
Mhm.
People are living an alternate reality, man.
yeah.
And these are the people that you trying to confess wisdom to at work.
You go get yourself in a situation you don't want to be in.
Yeah, right.
That's why the love of many is gonna wax cold when you go into that word cold. It's talking about psychos, man. Because everybody got demons on them. Everybody's just absorbed, pretty much. Like you got the black woman talk about my birthday month. They'll celebrate their birthday that the whole month they follow. Right, you know?
Right. Right. You got these you got these women out here, you know, they looking for the next party
Yeah.
at work.
Yeah.
These women out here looking for the next prey. And they're hoping that you are you know, naive enough to give them your number.
Yep.
Right? So you gotta be circumspect with that.
A lot of these women in some fucked up situations. They watching your videos. They go get with you. We're married now. I'm your responsibility.
Right.
God damn.
Wait, so that means that the women that's sending us DMs and paying us attention, they're not sincere? That means that they actually really trying to finesse us and trying to figure out ways to, you know.
That's just the way of a woman, though. That's how women are naturally. That's how they're supposed to be, but they got to be done in order.
Mm-hmm.
Hypergamy.
You know, a woman is an opportunist. They are hypergamous. You get mad at them for being exactly what they are, but
Smart, they gonna
you gotta understand in this setup, you can get got.
Yeah. You know, they work with, you know, you working with these females and they, you know, and they throwing you attention, you know, you're at work and they could use that to their advantage.
Mm-hmm.
You got certain women that are you know, act the fool and say, hey, you know, you'll give me a certain amount of money, I'm gonna tell the boss what we've been doing.
Blackmail.
They'll blackmail you, dog.
Yep.
Or know you got a situation and then start talking crazy. Like, yeah, I know where you and your girl stay at.
Mm-hmm.
I got it from HR.
She got you on camera doing something wild.
Mm-hmm. I got you on HR.
That's why you gotta get them on camera doing something.
Yeah. You always got to be a step ahead of
You
them,
gotta
too.
be a step ahead.
Hey, false balance is an abomination.
Brothers that understand women don't usually get as mad and upset with the things that women do because it's like, I already know the bitch gonna kind of do that, you know, to a certain degree. Just like, you know, woe on me if I fail hooking on and sinking to it. That's my bad.
That's not bad.
Argue not trespass against.
Right.
Right. Which you ain't thinking, you ain't thinking with your head, you thinking with your other head, and you get put in a compromising situation, bro. Right? You up there being Casanova and Regento, right? And you end up losing your job, bro. Now you gotta spring to your old lady that guess what? You lost your job behind a bitch.
Damn.
Okay?
Loser,
You gotta be careful out here, man.
Yep.
You have to be circumspect. These people out here in the world are not your friends, including family. A lot of people, they're envious at the light that you have. And when opportunity permit, they're gonna test that light that you have, as it says in Wisdom of Solomon. What's that? The second chapter. Let's see, whether or not, his wisdom is true.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you're around these people, you get to talking to these people about the truth. A lot of them are waiting for opportunities, to shit test you. To see, oh man, let's see what he about. So they could be justified in cutting you off.
And it's the worst, probably. But they know you before, you came into the truth and all of that. They'll see your flaws and shit,
and they mad that you kind of ain't as close to them.
Yep.
They're mad at the brotherhood. They're mad at the light that you have. Because they are 2/3. They're not your friends. Okay? The enemies of your house shine, bro.
Yep.
So therefore they're enemies of you. And their job is to do what? It's to pull you out of the light. So you could go back to eating chitlins, being in dark.
Mm-hmm.
Being a fucking nigga, a bully.
Yep.
Okay? You got some time? Well, I see you there now.
Now I'm reading the only one that we had left
Which one?
was Sirach 38.
Something.
Okay, we got a couple brothers with some.
Okay, well, I'll wait.
No, baby. Go ahead, Adam.
Yo, it's just one verse. This is Romans chapter 12, verse 18. It says, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. And that's not meaning just being buddy with people, but just try to move along through this thing. The scriptures talk about in what 2nd Ezra 16, we're pilgrims passing through. So we got to understand we got a destination to reach. And you got to understand, like the elder said, most of these people within this world, they're enemies of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. They're enemies of us. So when you're around enemy territory, it's a certain way you have to move to survive. All right?
I got a real quick one. Sirach 6:1. Instead of a friend, become not an enemy, but thereby thou shalt inherit an ill name, shame, and reproach. Even so shall a sinner that hath a double tongue. Right? And these people out here, they're two-faced. Right? They're looking for you to open up this so they can talk about you amongst other people, at work.
Yep.
I seen that the other day. It's like, man, this dude right here is just talking crazy about this guy. But then went up to him like, hey man, what's up? Like, god damn. These niggas right here, bro, these niggas out here cut throats.
I always dip off quick when I see like a group of people, 2 or more, talking about another person, like at work. I get away quick because your name get caught up in that mix just because you're associated around them. Well, he was saying it too, So you got to watch. You can be guilty by association, So if you see somebody, a group of people talking shit about somebody else, man, just get out of that situation.
Right.
Get back to work.
Right. And these hoes will make a lot of Jake out there, just open up, bro. I was sitting back just watching Jake just be talking. There's one female Jake just levitate towards, just talk to all day long. I'm sitting back like, yeah, man, I told her I can't come here all the time. I got to do that. I'm like, bro, why are you trying to just get all your business? Tripping.
We're looking at the guy.
Right.
Don't become no work husband either.
Yeah, man. That's like some friend zone shit. Really simpish to me.
It's front left for that work hubby shit.
Right.
Wayne, man.
In that Joe Spear, I want to do everything that he wants.
Yep, she talking to you about her relationship problem.
Damn. Yeah, your ass is for real? I would never do that. Wishing and hoping one day. looking real weak.
Things that make you smile.
Yeah.
What number to dial?
And then go home and have a attitude with your old lady.
Hell no.
With the bitch on your team. That don't make no damn sense, man. It's childish. You know? Again, these people are not your friends at work. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got
Sorry. Go ahead now.
I got this at GMT for you. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2.
Damn.
And the point is, it's little point is in 18.
Mhm.
Well, I'll start at 13. It says, they claim to know Yahweh Shai, and they call themselves Yahweh Shai's children. We can't stand the sight of people like that. It says what they are contradicts our whole way of thinking. Like the unbelievers, they'll look at us and see all these dudes, they different. They don't want to eat pork, they don't want to be doing all that. They already got speculation, but if you just like go out there and just talking to them, like you'll show yourself. They already speculating that something ain't right about this guy. What's up with this dude?
Yeah, he off. Yeah.
Oh yes, in verse 16, it says they think that our moral standards are so corrupt that everything we do should be avoided. They boast of having a Yahweh Shah for their father, and believe that when all is said and done, only the righteous will be happy. But we'll see if that's true. Let's see what will happen when it is time for them to die. If the righteous are really that Yahweh Shah's children, Yahweh Shah will save them from their enemies. So they're gonna test you. But even if I'm gonna start fucking with you, they might say certain shit, or they'll do certain stuff that they'll tempt you to see. I don't see if this nigga been doing what we doing. They might be doing shit that's contradicting what you believe in and stuff like that. You don't fall into that trap. Don't even give in. Don't even give in to energies. Let them have it. Oh, you got it, man. They try and say some BS about they show you their little rap. They got a rap career going on. You might not like the nigga. You look at something, you say, oh yeah, that shit cool. That shit cool, bro.
Yeah.
So now let them ask it.
Yeah.
I see you snapping. I see it.
That's shiny like that.
That's like keep it light.
Right, dude.
Just keep it light. Yeah, you might not agree with shit. You don't cause the enemy. Now you gotta deal with this nigga at work.
Yeah.
You're already working, slavery.
Yeah, versus, he show you the rap video. Man, that's wicked. You talking about adultery? No, bro. I keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Stop.
You don't even know what adultery is.
Yeah.
It's money.
Right. Right. Now you know that's a crazy nigga at work. This motherfucker crazy as hell. Looking crazy. You don't look cool, man. Okay?
I think he a Muslim because he turned down the pigs and the blanket that they had.
Damn, you a Muslim? Break up Muslim and then go off. Ain't no goddamn.
Yep.
That's a false religion.
Them niggas wicked.
Yeah.
The Quran is toilet paper.
That's toilet paper. Now you in HR watching sensitive videos.
Sensitivity training.
Yeah, sensitivity training. Come on,
Now
man.
we jesting, but seriously, brothers gotta take heed to this shit, man. Because over the time I've seen brothers lose situations, man. Just at work, just being a demon, man. That makes you a demon. You're not at work to have your chest poked out in knowledge, man. There's a time and a place where we, preach and all of that.
Somebody else outside? You got some more?
Yeah, one more verse. This verse 19, Wisdom of Solomon 2 and 19, GNT. It says, so let us put them to the test. We'll be cruel to them and torment them. And then we'll find out how calm and reasonably they are. We'll find out just how much they can stand.
There you go. They want to see how calm and reasonable you are with your knowledge. You can say all these things. You can sound deep. You can sound good. Well, what's going to happen when the Lord apply pressure on you? And these demons going to be activated to see how well you take, pressure. Okay? Right?
Yeah.
So what's the point of putting extra pressure on you while you're at work? Just stay out the way, bro.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
God, this is Acts chapter 26, verse 28. Just for context, this is, Paul, when he was brought, to trial in front of Agrippa.
Can you speak up just a little bit, brother?
Yeah, this is the account when Paul was brought up to trial with Agrippa, by the Sadducees and Pharisees. But it's Acts 26 and 28. It says, Agrippa interrupted him. Do you think you can persuade me to become a Christian so quickly? Paul replied, whether quickly or not, I pray to Yahweh by Shai that both you and everyone in here in this audience might become the same as I am, except for these chains, which he's talking about converting them to being a Christian, which he knew that Agrippa wouldn't. He was an Idumean, He had the know-how, the know-it-all to know that he's an Idumean. So it's like here he's using Gal,
Right. But technically, he's telling the truth because every knee go bow.
Right. Yeah.
Every knee go bow. So technically, he's using Gal, but he ain't lying at the same time.
Right.
Because basically, he in chains. He using wisdom. Like they trying to get him put to death. So he, like when the police come up to us, what we gonna say?
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing, sir? Yada yada yada. We've done it before. The police left like y'all are impressive. Y'all look. They say all this about y'all, but y'all cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, use wisdom.
Just a little more.
Go ahead, man.
It says, verse 30, it says, then the king and the governor, Bernice, and all the others stood and left. As they went out, they talked it over and agreed, this man hasn't done anything to deserve death or imprisonment. So, by his words, he was able to escape death,
That's right. Hey, by your words, you could escape being, written up, lose your job, just by your reputation, just by people liking who you are. You have you have a good reputation. The so-called black woman, like to call it big woman, she'll come to your aid. Oh no, he good. He gotta work on time, this and that. Just because you're a likable guy.
Chilling.
Yeah, charismatic.
Mind your own business.
Or not even charismatic. You mind, like the elder said, you mind your own business, man.
I feel trust within people too when you just mind your business, not like a telltale babbler, You just always in the cut,
Yep. Ducked out somewhere.
People be trying to pull you in more times than not,
Yep. They be mad you don't really fuck with them like that.
Right? They want to go drinking with you. They ask, they invite you to baby showers and stuff like that. Just because of your rapport. So that's very important, man. Rapport is very important. Your reputation is very important, man. In the world, and more important, and also privately, very important.
I got a pretty,
Go ahead, brother. Yeah.
This is Proverbs 16:7. It says, when a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. So just basically carrying yourself with a certain rapport, having a level of respect, having a good reputation among people, man. Even your enemies will come to your rescue in certain situations, If you're not a loud mouth, telling everybody's business, you always got to be in the mix,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You at work telling people like it TIEs, like my daddy used to say. But tell you like it is, I'm gonna tell you about yourself. Nobody wanna hear that shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Then people face that word, they're running your mouth off.
Yeah, run your mouth,
man. Go sit down.
Scriptures talks about having a good name.
Yeah, it's very important.
A reputation.
Very important. You got someone? Go ahead.
So 1 Peter 2:12 in the NLT, be careful to live properly among your unbelieving neighbors. Then, even if they accuse you of doing wrong, they will see your honorable behavior, and they will give honor to the Most High when He judges the world.
Break it down.
So we kind of just being a light, this perversion, dark, crooked generation. I remember Elder Oriana did a lesson a few months ago, and he taught the lesson. Don't be gremlins, be lights in the world. We don't want to be gremlins, man. Because the Lord, He ain't dealing with gremlins. He ain't dealing with darkness, man. He's given us His wisdom to level up. And His wisdom is more than just, to be used in the highways and byways, pulling precepts and, breaking the scriptures down. It's ultimately, a lifestyle, the way you live, the way you conduct yourself, man. Being the world's, next, judges and kings and priests. But it all starts right now on this side. The Lord is seeing how we apply, what He given us.
That's right, brother. Go ahead now.
This is Sirach 41 and 11 in the GNT. All right, talking about reputation. He says a person's body amounts to nothing, but a good reputation will last forever. Protect your reputation; it will outlive you and last longer than 1,000 treasures of gold. So you brothers, y'all going into keeping your reputation intact. When you've been given the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, it allows you to understand when and when not to. There's a time and place for everything. To engage with people, to mind your own business. All right. There's a lot of people that they know a bunch of precepts, but they can't read a room.
Right.
That's exactly right.
It's like, bro,
It's a lot of Jake in the church that's like that, man. That's why this is a powerful lesson, brother.
Yeah.
Jake know all these precepts, can just quote this and that, but you can't read a room, man. You can't discern time and judgment.
Yeah.
Right. You gotta know when to speak and when not to. It's an art. It's an art, man. Right? And a lot of times you just don't speak. That's the best way to do it. The best thing to do is just not speak it out, bro. Go ahead.
Proverbs 21:23 NLT. Watch your tongue and keep your mouth shut, and you stay out of trouble.
Man, you watch what you say, watch what you do, but really watch you say. That fucking tongue, man. It just says in James, the 3rd chapter, set on fire by hell. You watch what you say, right? And stay out the way. Man, you keep yourself out of a lot of unneeded trouble. Unneeded, eyes. Unneeded opinions. If you just keep things simple. About your house shine and stay out the way. This applies to your everyday life.
Jake want a lot of like the small, like we talking about at work. When you're dealing with people. Yeah, anybody say word and then smart and sarcastic, and you just deal with people, various people in the world. You feel like you want to say something back, get one up on. Fuck the little victories. You're a part of something to where we're gonna have dominion over the earth. Why you want the little victories? You ain't gonna get a trophy, nigga. You gonna get a cookie. Let these people have it. You about something way bigger. Don't cause unnecessary strife in your life because you want to get your lick back. That's childish, especially for somebody who knows the pathway to immortality.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
Right. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 18, verse 6. A fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calleth for stroke.
Right.
Verse 7.
Your mouth calling for strokes. Right. You getting written up at work because you contentious. You get into it with everybody at work. Now you getting pulled into the office and getting talked to like you being sent to the principal office. Go ahead,
Verse 7. Verse 7. A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul.
Right, a fool's mouth is his destruction. What you say can destroy you, man. Can bring, swift judgment on you, bro. Especially when you're amongst these people, these heathens. Okay? All right? Anybody else have something that's pretty much good on? That's it on me. Hey, so that being said, I want to give all praises to
Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakwadash.
the honors to the apostles, the elders, and the will. Salutations out there. Told you, Shalom.
Shalom.